It's been more than a month since I have received my VinFast VF7 Dragon Force Edition, and I put about 2,000 kilometers on this car, and I think I'm well qualified to talk about all the reasons why you should buy the VinFast VF7. Maybe not the Dragon Force Edition, but the VF7 Plus. Okay, let's get into it.
Hey Tom, it's the one and only Floyd Money Mayweather. First I want to say congratulations on your YouTube channel. Everybody needs to follow your YouTube channel. So what everyone needs to do is subscribe to Tom Pang. Great guy, great person. Tom, keep up the great work.
I find myself behind the wheels of the VinFast VF7 Plus Dragon Force Edition a lot because, frankly, this is a car with a lot to love, right? There's a lot of good reasons to love this car, and today I'm going to share them with you. I don't know how many reasons I'm going to give you, but I believe there are plenty. So the very first reason is performance. All right, the VinFast VF7 Plus has performance. I don't know about the base model, which is the 7S. I don't care about that. I care about the 7 Plus. This car is about 350 horsepower, and I'm not counting, and it's got plenty of performance. All right, so on paper, VinFast says it can do 0 to 100 kilometers in about 5.8 seconds, but I can tell you that is a lie because I've tested this car and I was able to get 5.4 seconds before I stopped testing. But I do believe under the right conditions I can even make better numbers than that. So this car's got straight line performance. There's very few cars on the road to Vietnam that can surpass this level of performance, but the performance doesn't stop at the straight line as well, because this car can truly handle. I have put it through many hard corners, I have put it through many difficult situations, and frankly I have never lost grip with the VinFast VF7 Plus. This car really grips the road and it handles extremely well, and plus the suspension is kind of plush. All right, so a lot of people, especially the North American journalists, they complain a lot about the terrible suspension, and frankly I have to say, you know, previous VinFast, the suspension setup is not stellar. Okay, it's kind of bumpy, but me and my passengers in the VinFast VF7, we can truly say that this car actually feels really good. It rides really well, and the suspension is really plush, meaning that it absorbs all the imperfections of the road and you barely feel a thing. I can drive this car over bumps and I barely feel anything. Well, actually that's an exaggeration, but you don't feel the vibrations through the cabin like you would in the VinFast VF8 or the VF6 or the VF5 or the E34. Certainly this car has a much improved suspension, and I wish that the suspension improvements will carry forward to other VinFast models as well. So what I'm saying is this car's got performance, it's got comfort, and this is the best VinFast in my mind that has ever been released. All right, let's go to reason number 2. Reason number 2 is the back seat. Okay, the legroom in the back seat is amazing, and when you look at this car, it looks kind of small. Especially I have a black VinFast VF7 because it's a Dragon Force Edition, so the black color makes the car look a little bit smaller. So it looks like a fairly reasonably sized small car. But when you get into the back seat, wow, you know, there's so much legroom. It's like the VinFast E34. You just can't believe how much legroom you get. It's like there's an extra dimension in this car. When you get into this car, you just cannot comprehend how they make this much legroom in such a small car, and that is amazing. I think the back seat passengers will truly be in comfort with the legroom, and I think that's definitely a plus. And the number 3 reason why you should buy the VinFast VF7 Plus is Did I mention the suspension? Man, the suspension in this car is amazing. It's definitely better than VinFast VF8. I know I talked about in reason number 1, but I just want to say it again. It really should be a reason of its own. Like the suspension improvement in the VinFast VF7 is so amazing. It's so great. I really wish that this improvement will be implemented in other VinFast models quickly, because this is clearly one of the major complaints, especially by North American journalists. So if we can address this, then they will shut the fuck up, right? Okay, so VinFast, let's make sure that we carry forward this improvement into other models. The number 4 reason why you should buy a VinFast VF7 Plus is reliability. All right, I've driven this car for over 2,000 kilometers, and I have owned it for more than a month, and I can truly say nothing broke. Nothing broke. First, I thought the rear passenger right door is broken, but actually that is totally my mistake. Okay, apparently it's a child protection thing. And also I thought this SLS thing didn't work, but let me tell you, it totally works. You just have to hold it for 5 seconds. It's gonna call VinFast. I'm gonna cancel that because I really am not in an emergency, but it will actually contact VinFast. VinFast will actually come out and help me if there's really an emergency. So basically, nothing broke. Everything works. And I have to say that this is very different from my experience when I first received my VinFast VF8 more than 2 years ago, and that didn't go very well because the battery didn't work. The car would stop in the middle of the road. The battery is shit. It wasn't a very good experience, but I can say that this car did not give me any trouble at all. Never had a battery problem. Never have to like stop somewhere and then unplug the battery, replug the battery. Never had any of those problems, and nothing broke. So I have to say, over time, VinFast really has improved its quality. Actually, even back to VinFast VF5, we never had any problems. So I can see that VinFast is improving the quality of its products over time, and I think that's amazing. What I'm saying is, you can feel very comfortable in buying a VinFast VF7 Plus, knowing that the car will take good care of you. It's not gonna strand you, and nothing's gonna break on you. I hope. Okay? All right. Number 5 reason why you should buy the VinFast VF7 Plus is that it is amazingly easy to drive and without anxiety. If you drive a VinFast VF9, then anywhere you go, you're gonna feel anxious, especially you have to do a U-turn, or if you get into a small alleyway, which is common here in Saigon. But if you drive the VF7, because it's small form factor and it's agility, you feel that you can go anywhere and you're not feeling anxious, or you're not feeling nervous. You just have a lot of confidence when you drive the VF7 Plus. And that's how I feel. And that is the reason why I always take my VinFast VF7 out nowadays. I pretty much neglect all of my other cars and just drive the VinFast VF7 Plus as much as possible. Plus you get like free charging nowadays. You can go to a VinFast charging station, you can plug it in, and it is free for a limited time. I think that's amazing. Which brings us to reason number 6, which is why you should buy the VinFast VF7. The 6th reason why you should buy the VinFast VF7 Plus is the range. All right, I'm not saying the range is spectacular. I think compared to Chinese EVs or even North American EVs, VinFast is not doing so well. But in terms of the VinFast lineup, I think this has a really good range. The first time we tested this car, I got 270 kilometers real world usage. Okay, real world usage, meaning turning on the AC, driving the car normally. I get 270 kilometers. And subsequently, I was not able to get out any more but I was able to get 230, 240 kilometers per full charge. And I think that's basically the same as VinFast VF8, VF9 level of range. But the thing about the VF7, it has a smaller battery, so you need less time to charge up the battery. I was able to plug the car in and get the car from 10 to 80% in about 45 minutes, maybe in an hour, depending on the charger type, right? So it's fairly quick to charge up. Smaller battery, faster charging, and pretty much equivalent range to the VF8 and with VF9. So I think that is a win for the VinFast VF7 Plus. All right, so those are the 6 reasons why I think you should buy the VinFast VF7 Plus. That's all I can think of right now. I'm pretty sure I missed a few, but I can truly say that I really enjoy this car. I can definitely say that this is my favorite VinFast, okay? I said that before about the VinFast VF5 because I truly believe that is a car with a reasonable range for a small car that's easy to drive, not much performance. But let me tell you, this is how I feel about the VinFast VF7. It's easy to drive, it's agile, it has performance, and it's got a range, it's quick to charge. And what can you possibly ask for more? And it hasn't broken on me yet. So get the VinFast VF7. That's what I'm saying. If you want to get a VinFast, look into the VinFast VF7 Plus. I don't know how much this car is worth. I don't ask when we buy cars. I don't know the price, but I believe it's around 1.2 T, all right, in Vietnam. And frankly, for 1.2 T to get this level of performance, to get this level of comfort, I mean, like what other car can give you that, right, in Vietnam? So in Vietnam, this is definitely a steal. And if you're buying a car, a new car, you should definitely look into the VinFast VF7. And I don't say that because I'm wearing a VinFast hat, I'm wearing a VinFast shirt. I'm definitely not sponsored by VinFast. I say it because I'm a proud owner of every VinFast car out there, okay? And I can tell you that this is definitely the best one to get, all right? Better than the VF5, all right? And definitely better than the VF8, I think, all right? So take some fucking action, look into the VinFast VF7 Plus. I don't know about the base model, and don't be a fucktard.